Hi guys, we're going to be looking at XTZ today. We're going to be doing a little update video from the last one that we had, and we're going to be seeing if we can find some temporary support here and keep going up, or if we're going to break the support and go down. We're going to look at some possible bounce areas. As you can see, we're down 2% for the day and also 1.55% for the Bitcoin pairing. So jumping right into the charts, we actually had hidden bullish divergence from this peak to this peak, as you can see in the yellow. And it got confirmed on this green candle, on this small green candle right here. It got confirmed, and then it basically cancelled out on the next candle because we lost support and came back down. We're actually coming up to a very relevant area, at least for me. We've already come up to it on Binance, but the weekly support is 22,000 satoshis, and we're actually approaching it pretty hard right now. And we've got a moving average here to actually support us as well, but this is only on the hourly time frame, so it's not going to be too hard for the bears to basically break this support area. As you can see, when we were here on the price action at around this area, the momentum was pretty strong. If you can see here, the momentum was all the way up here, right? But then as we started going up even more, we went up here, and the RSI was losing momentum. So if you were in our group, you would have known that it was an area to at least take profits unless you hold Tezos, and unless you're basically not trading it and just holding it. But it was a place to take profits because, as you can see, we're basically trending down right here on the RSI, and we were hitting this sort of resistance. As you can see, we've got this resistance trend line, and we were just losing momentum. And as you can see here, even though we got to basically the same price, the momentum was all the way down here, which was just a dead giveaway that we were going to lose support. As you can see here, we've got a very valid trend line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches, and we finally broke down out of it, and we've come down here. And as you can see, actually, this is what I wanted to show you guys, and this is why I have two different charts open, because on Binance, we're actually approaching this support area. And as you know, I just said that it might not be too hard for the bears to break, maybe not on first attempt, but this is pretty good support, but it may not be too hard for them to break. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, and I'm going to see, we're actually approaching it on Bitfinex as well. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, get rid of everything that we have on here. We've actually got a fresh cross of the MACD that confirmed on the last candle, that confirmed on this candle, which means that is a bearish cross. And as you can see here, the momentum has actually ticked to the downside. So if you were following us on Discord, you would have known this, because as you can see here, we were basically losing momentum and finally have come to the downside. So this may go something like this and then come back up, right? But right now we've actually lost momentum and have ticked down to the downside. As you can see right here, where I've outlined, this is ticked to the downside. So we've actually got that, and we're actually approaching support here as well. We've got the 21 EMA, which is the orange for support, which is going to be pretty good. As you can see, we were just losing momentum with these gold dots. If you don't have this indicator, go ahead and add it. We've talked about this in the past videos. It's very good and a very useful indicator, and that just showed that it was losing momentum, and it just helped us as well because it was at resistance as well. So basically, more confirmation. The more confirmations you have for any trade that you want to take, the better. On the RSI, same deal. We actually were losing momentum. We had bearish divergence. From this peak to this peak, we had bearish divergence as well on the 4-hour time frame. So looking at the bigger picture for the 4-hour time frame, we did talk about this in the last video, but we could do something like this. Basically, I'm just going to quickly tell you guys because we talked about it in the last video, but this could basically be a huge head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern, right? So this could be the shoulder, this could be the head, and then if we go over here, we could take a few months to obviously create this pattern, but if it were to play out, we would come down, create another shoulder, and then go back up, and then we would have a trend line resistance at around here, the blue line. And if we broke that resistance, we would have a beautiful head, a beautiful shoulder, head, and then another shoulder, and we would have to break up out of this way. And if we broke that trend line, then it would be pretty bullish, and we would be able to, that would be at around, what date would that be? That'd be around May, I would say. So looking pretty good for that if we do pull back. As you can see, it was coming on to its last wave, so it was losing momentum everywhere, and it was basically, the price action was, look at this beautiful run that we had. We've been saying for weeks that Tezos is one of the only ones that had actually one of the only constructive looking charts in cryptocurrency. Everything else looks like absolute trash. It's going straight down, but this just looked very, very good. And obviously it's had such a great run up, it will pull back a little bit before at least correcting and pushing up. It doesn't have to pull back all the way down. It could just basically, it could just pull down to around these areas and correct and go sideways before going back up. But as you can see, we do have a lot of support, and all the moving averages are pointing up, which is a good sign. We're going to look at the 12-hour time frame. So as you can see, the 12-hour time frame, same deal. We talked about this in the group. Was losing momentum, came back down. 12-hour time frame. Let's get rid of this. We're actually going to leave those on for a second. We'll get rid of this. So as you can see, we've got the 10 moving average, which is red for support. We've got the 21 EMA, which is orange for support down here at around 20,000 sats, and also 21,000 sats, 22,000. So that would actually coincide with these resistance areas that we were talking about. As you can see here, we did not actually create a high. So if we could basically push up, and break this high right here, even with a wick, it would be very good, but we didn't, and we're basically pulling back. So if the bulls had just a little bit more momentum and held that momentum and basically pushed up to around these areas, it would be perfect for us if we put in a high here. But not putting in a high here or even here is not the best sign, but doesn't mean that we can't keep trending up. We did almost get to its all-time high, so as you can see, this is looking very good, and you can even see the head and shoulders that we were talking about easier even here. So that could form like that. So it's looking very good. The 12-hour time frame, we're actually about to get a bearish cross, or we may get a bearish cross if we keep trending down. As you can see, it's pointing down a little bit now. The momentum still looks pretty strong, but it could do something like this. And tick back down, but we will have to see about this in the next few days, because we don't know where it's going to find support right now. I do think that we're going to find support at 22,000 and also 21,000, but there is a possibility of it trending down even more. But as you can see, we do have some major moving averages right below to actually help us with this. So if we look at, do we have any divergences here? Let's see. We don't actually have any divergences here. We did have a divergence from this peak to this peak, a very small divergence, which didn't really play out too much. From that peak to that peak, there was a hidden bearish divergence. But when you see such small waves, you don't really get it to play out that much. Like it's not a big move at all. As you can see, it didn't really play out to anything. We actually ended up trending up even more. So is there anything else we need to talk about? Let's look at the daily. As you can see, the daily actually has this candlestick is not looking very good. So that could be a reversal right here and coming back down. That's a daily close, which isn't very good. As you can see here, we've got the 10 moving average and the 21 EMA right below as well. Again, for support, we got all these below. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, this is what we were talking about in the group. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, all the moving averages and the exponential moving averages are basically heading right down, and they're pointing down. So these are looking like this. They're looking like this. These moving averages are all pointing down. And when you see something like this and them all moving down and pointing down, it basically means that we're in a bear market, and that it means that the bears are in control of the entire basically market. But what you see with Tezos is completely different, and obviously the higher time frame, the more relevant this is. You got to look at the daily time frame, and you got to look at the weekly time frame. But as you can see here, Tezos is basically, we're pointing up on all moving averages right now. But even the 200 moving average right now, we're looking pretty good. This yellow, we're looking pretty good, but the 200 moving average on Bitcoin right now is starting to point down, which is very extremely bearish. But as you can see here, we're looking very, very good on Tezos. They're all pointing up and they're all looking very strong. So this could be a very great start for the year with Tezos and XTZ. for 2020 could definitely be a very great year. Right now, looking at the RSI, we are losing a bit of momentum. We actually lost the exponential moving average, which is the white line right here. We lost that. We're losing momentum as well on the RSI. As you can see, we're slowly trending down here. We hit some resistance. Even on the daily time frame, it kind of looks like a head and shoulders, bearish head and shoulders forming right here, as you can see. So not too good, like not good, but yeah. So overall, I am pretty bullish on Tezos and XTZ. I do stake it, so if you stake it, good on you. But if you want to trade it, and if you're trading it right now, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know to basically take your profits. This is what we said about Matic basically, and also Link as well, but people didn't take their profits. So it's just good to at least take some profits off the table and not just hold, so you can get back in lower, so you can make some money while you hold. And yeah, it's just good to do that, and it's never good to leave all profits on the table because the market will take it away from you. So just keep that in mind, take your profits, be smart with it, and I'm glad that you guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and go ahead and give it a like if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next one.